Assemblage. Assemblage is a collection or a gathering of things, or people for that matter. I love this usage. A wondrous assemblage of paper and vellum and ephemera and blooms. And as inspired by Laura Graff's ScrapbookCom SBC Fest 2025 kit, I have done just that. I have created what I'm calling an assemblage just because I think that word is so very cool. And this has been highly requested by you for me to share how this came to exist. So we're going to talk about these parts and pieces that do make up what I'm calling this bloom assemblage. And you can see this is loosey-goosey because I want to walk through each and every one of these pieces to show you this really is a fairly, I want to say simple, but it is doable assemblage right here that I want to share with you. So as you can see here, this is not part of Laura Graff's kit, but this is a piece of 49 and Market Grove color swatch paper. And you can see it's kind of solid on the back. It has a bit of this lattice work on the front, kind of distressed. This is my base. I even put a note on here. This is 4.5 by 6. I probably had a piece of this just sort of kind of laying around here in the studio, which is very often how I begin things. I'll see things. I have this collection right over here to the side over here, and it's just kind of hanging out together. And my brain is going, I want to put all those pieces together. And that is probably exactly what happened here. Now, this next piece, as I explained in my sentence, assemblage is a gathering. Well, ephemera finds its place in our assemblage as well. This piece of ephemera, by the way, is from 49 and Market. Do you feel a theme here? Yes, we do. It's from 49 and Market Birdsong. And if you took my Something New class, that highlights the Birdsong collection. And we use some pieces from the ephemera, some of these larger advert pieces, but we did not use this one. Nope, this one was set aside on purpose to be part of this gathering right here. So this is just layered over the 4.5 by 6, so you can tell it's a little bit smaller than that size right there. The next piece on our assemblage I included was a piece of vellum. Not just any old piece of vellum though, because this is what's going to happen with this vellum. On our piece here, this is from my completed make, you can see on the top and here on the left-hand side, or maybe you can't, that it is cut with the nested wavy rectangle. And I happen to have that set right here. I can't pick it up off its magnet, but I do have the set right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do at this point is I'm just going to bring this in here, just about like this. I'm going to grab a piece of mint tape because I want this to be lined up in such a way that I'm just cutting off the edge and I'm leaving the other edge here straight. That was the idea behind this. So I'm going to go and do that now. So that's just another way to use our dies, is just by partially cutting with them. And then this will be laying right here like this. So let's give this a bit of adhesion in between the lines. Now you're wondering probably, what are you going to use this for? For me, it just became part of some spring inspiration. For me, it was a matter of, I have this kit that's part of ScrapbookCom. It's burning a small hole in my collection pocket, and I wanted to put it to work. I want to make sure that that's going to be covered up, and it is. And so this could make a great card cover, as well as just something you could add to your inspiration board as well, which is where this is going to go here in a moment. Sky's the limit what we can use this for. So I shared with you that I'm using some ephemera pieces from Birdsong. This would be the next piece. I'm not going to adhere it yet because I want to do my next part next, and that is a frame also crafted from the nested wavy rectangle. So we have piece number 1 that came from the bouquet paper, also from Laura Graff's kit. In case I sound like a broken record, I just don't want you to forget this is from, right now you can only get these pieces from her kit. So I have one piece that's cut using the second and the third of these dies to create a frame. So I just set this on my paper. I use some mint tape to put everything in place, and I cut that. I also have 3 more here in cardstock because I wanted to build it. Thanks to my friends from the last time I did a wavy rectangles video, we were struggling with building this up a little bit. And so I decided to, let's make several of these. I'm going to glue all these together, including this top, and then that will be our frame ready for the next layer. And that's how we create a frame that's got a little bit more depth to it, a little bit more heft to it, if you will, and it kind of lays nice and flat as well because it's got the weight to it. So when I layer this in here, I'm going to have it with the other parts of the wave that are part of the vellum. So that's how it's going to adhere. And at this point, this is when I know I can go ahead and set this part of my frame right inside here. And then we're going to work on our bouquet, which I think is the heart and soul of the matter here. And it's going to be now framed inside these 2 frames. I think frames help create some focal point and some real good interest to these kinds of layerings. And so never underestimate your nested dies that will create frames for you, whether they're stamped dies, whether they're the wavy rectangles or the circles or the ovals, whether they're the Polaroids, whatever they are, put them to work and make frames from them. All right, let's talk about the Build a Bouquet die set real quick and how I brought these into fruition. This is also part, yes, you guessed it, this is also part of Laura Graff's kit. It's such a great kit. You don't want to miss this kit. And SBC Fest is just around the corner. So here we go. I used Birdsong Solid for some of my florals. I used the yellow solids for some of my florals as well as the bow. And this is, of all places, from Evergreen, 49 Market solids. And that's where the stems and the leaves came from. The leaves came from, let's say that correctly. What I really like about using these papers is that you have a different shade on each side. You also have some little bit of texturing going on. So it really made for a cool effect on these dies. Super subtle, but you have a bit of a variation, which I really loved. So this is what we're going to do. Oh, let's talk about 2 more things here. I also cut out my bow out of the yellow. And here's the bow that I used. And then the For You. And you might want to take a screenshot of this right here, because these are what I used for what we're going to make next. There's multiple options for building bouquets with this set. There's also like this wrapped paper and another bow kind of vibe. You have the hello and the thanks pick. Didn't use those. I just used the For You banner, some florals, and of course, and always, the leaves. Okay, I have here a piece of just like half inch circle cut from, again, this paper here that I am going to use to help build my base. And it might be seen a little bit, but I'm kind of okay with that because it just helps to be able to set things in here and have a home as you're building these up. And this is not probably going to look at all like what I did the first time, and that's okay. We're just going to own it, right? But I have 2 of these kind of sort of palm frond looking things here. I have this sort of a quirky looking leaf here, and then I also had this more traditional looking leaf here in the back. And the spread is about, I don't know, almost 3 inches. And I'm just going to keep building this with glue here, okay? While that's going to dry for a minute, hot glue is also probably going to be your friend as well. There's also some, like I said, stem pieces that are in here. And so we're going to build this up here right now. My pick would be perfect for this, but my pick has seemingly disappeared. So we have this large floral here. I'm going to add a dot of glue to it, and I'm going to add a middle right to the glue. And then it's going to get another middle right in it. And that's how you build these flowers, okay? And then this is going to sit inside this stem here. I'm actually going to make it in such a way that it sits back here. And then you can see a bit of the stem right there on the front. And it can find its home right here. No right or wrong as to where this is going to live. What's great about this here later on is that this is going to cover all of that up right there. With our stem, we can get pieces like this little circular, add a dot of glue to the stem, and then add the circular floral piece right on top. And you can go ahead, and I'm probably going to trim this and tuck it in to all these parts right here, just like that, so it's towards the back. I'm going to build the rest of these flowers and do the same thing over and over again. Alright, I'm just adding in that bloom right there to the top, and as well as you can see, I already added in the For You and tied it with some twine. And so be sure to check out all the links that are in the description. And if you want to actually see Laura Graff go at her kit, be sure and catch SBC Fest 2025.